Two 10th grade students report hearing what they described as someone trying to speak under the ground. One of them reports this to her mother, who ignores it. Several female students report seeing faceless things instead of their own reflections in the mirror. They do not seem bothered by this. Students arriving to the school notice that the Indiana state flag is more than 3 meters above the top of the flagpole, attached to nothing. When observed, students claim that they can also see 9 female figures hanging by ropes from the flagpole, which disappear immediately after being seen. A custodian reports seeing something standing at the bottom of the pool, staring at him. At 7:56 a.m., the entire school hears someone whisper the word "hello" into their right ear. During a gym class, senior Nate Bennett avoids a dodgeball when it phases through him. As he begins to sink into the floor, he screams for help. Nobody who noticed seemed motivated enough to help him.
This video is sponsored by Summoner's War. Hop into Summoner's War and take advantage of exclusive 7th anniversary content before it's gone forever. Use the link provided in the description below to get started today. Summoner's War has built a huge global community over the past 7 years, with over 110 million downloads on Google Play and the App Store. To celebrate the occasion, Summoner's War has been giving out 100 7th anniversary scrolls to all users absolutely free. Players have until the end of May to grab these scrolls, so act fast. In addition to scrolls, users are being given special anniversary coins simply for logging in daily, which can be used in a 7th anniversary shop to buy massive rewards. Along with all these anniversary events, a new monster update is now live with its own rewards and scrolls. This is a summoning opportunity you won't want to miss out on. Summoner's War features thousands of monsters to collect and awaken, offering a variety of playstyles for its turn-based RPG combat. On top of their anniversary celebration, the game offers new events and dungeons weekly, giving players not just a game, but a constantly evolving world where there's always something new to explore. Check out the link provided in the description below to start your Summoner's journey, and be sure to take advantage of the anniversary event before it's gone for good.
The principal decides to close the school on Friday. Inexplicably, the entire student body ignores the principal's orders and shows up to school anyways. The interior of the school has become non-Euclidean. As the students approach the back of the space, they realize they are moving down, not into. In the distance, they see the archway leading to SCP-3935. Suddenly, the entire mass of students shifts 50 meters outside of the space and are suddenly encased in rock and earth. The students spend roughly 20 seconds trapped in this area before reappearing back in the school. All students report being the only one in the building and, after wandering through the hallways for a short time, coming across a doorway below a doorway and entering the small sub-basement room. Inside, the students report seeing 3 separate visions. A woman crouched over a body of water, blood surrounding her feet and her arms extended into the water up to her elbows. A farmhouse in the middle of a grove of trees that is burning while 9 humanoid figures hang in the air overhead. And a weeping woman digging in a field until her hands begin to rot and fall apart. Once the visions subside, the small black humanoid appears. Students hear the entity say the word "hello" again, are immediately surrounded by 9 screaming female figures, and then are suddenly in their own homes. One unidentified woman reports witnessing a weeping young woman running back into the school building. After following her into the now unlocked sub-basement, she is unable to find the young woman, but is the first to report the collapsed floor. Over the next few days, UIU amnestic regimens begin to take effect. Most of the townspeople are readily convinced that the things they saw were hallucinations as a result of toxic gases blown south from a factory to the north. Sometime after the end of the primary anomalous activity period at the school, an audit of the damage by a contractor discovered the collapsed section of a wall and floor leading to a narrow gap in the foundation. A member of the independent team accidentally slipped and fell into the antechamber near SCP-3935. Without a way to easily extract the individual, their supervisor encouraged them to proceed into SCP-3935 a short distance and see if there was a way out. When the individual did not return from SCP-3935, Foundation personnel embedded in local authorities took over the investigation. SCP-3935 is an extratemporal, extraspatial, non-Euclidean space located beneath the Salvation High School in Salvation, Indiana. While SCP-3935 is the designation for the specific anomaly mentioned, it is believed that the anomaly currently affects the entire town of Salvation. The access point to SCP-3935 proper exists roughly 25 meters below the collapsed section of basement, below the school's pool, in a small antechamber containing a stone arch. The original creator of the arch, or how it became buried so far underground in the first place, are the subjects of investigation. Inscribed on the arch is a phrase in English not believed to exist elsewhere in literature. The way below winds deeper, longer. Unspeakable its patterns laid. The lost forever damned to wander, this thing a quiet madness made. The following interview was conducted by Dr. Collingwood in 2002. The subject, Mrs. Valerie Fletcher, was a teacher at Salvation High School during the period of anomalous activity in 1976.
Can you tell me about your time at Salvation?
Oh, well, I already told you about the memory loss. Just can't seem to string things together anymore. I was a teacher, though, see?
What can you tell me about the town? Anything you remember that stands out?
There were always some people who would tell stories, They...
Yes?
What? Hello?
You were just talking about people telling stories, Mrs. Fletcher.
Oh. The young people would go out into the woods and get themselves all riled up about whatever spook or specter they thought were seeing out there. There were things that were strange. Well, I don't know if they were actually strange, or if it's just my memory giving me trouble again.
What about at the high school? Anything strange ever happen there?
High school?
Where you were a teacher. Salvation High School?
Yes, I was a teacher. I taught English, I think.
Do you remember anything strange happening at the school?
No, I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. We did have a child disappear once, I think. The last she was seen was by the pool, and then nobody ever saw them again. I think they ended up saying they just ran away. Some of them were problem children, Trouble. And there's just nothing you can do.
Is there anything else about Salvation you remember?
It all blurs together after all this time. I seem to remember there was one time somebody found a girl. They were strung up in the woods. Well, I don't know why they'd do anything like that.
One last question, Mrs. Fletcher. After the earthquake, they found a room underneath the basement near the pool. Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't. Nobody ever went into that room but the janitors, I think. Just storage. Though, I think that girl asked about that room once. She said, she heard some things coming from it. She was very interested in it, I think, before she... either way.
Thank you again for your time, Mrs. Fletcher. Actually, before I go, do you think you know anything about this?
Well, yes, I do. Those are the, It's the cheerleaders. There were, let me think. There were 10 of them, though, I think. Unless something happened to one of them. There were definitely 10.
The town of Salvation, Indiana has been evacuated. An fenced 2-kilometer quarantine zone has been established around the center of the town. Roads leading to the nearby town of Eminence have been removed and rerouted. Foundation personnel are to monitor all known travel routes into Salvation for signs of civilians. Any civilians caught attempting to enter Salvation are to be remanded to the custody of local authorities. Cover story 3935.18, Hazardous Waste Disaster, is currently being disseminated. The building containing SCP-3935, Salvation High School, is to be guarded by Foundation security personnel. Under no circumstances are any non-authorized personnel to enter SCP-3935.